What's up, y'all? Welcome to Gratified Grad, where it's my goal to help you graduate with gratification. A part of being a gratified grad includes your mental health and your physical health. I've talked about mental health a number of times. I'll link that playlist up here. And then in today's video, I want to talk a bit more about physical health and the importance of getting tested for STIs and STDs and just paying attention to your health in that way. So today's video, I will be taking advantage of the State College AIDS Resource Center and I will be getting HIV tested. So stick around and follow this experience of me getting tested for HIV, and I hope that this encourages you to feel comfortable in getting yourself tested. Even if you feel like you have no reason at all to get tested, it's still something to be comfortable with in doing, especially when you don't have to use, or if it's not dire for you to take advantage of these resources. It's always good to know where your resources are and what you have access to before you actually need them. We don't want to be in panic or in crisis and then be trying to scramble and figure out where can I access my resources. When in moments of calmness, in moments of just enjoying life, you take stock of these things and you have these tools in your toolbox so that when you need them, they're already there. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to click like on the video, share it with somebody who this can be helpful to, and subscribe to the channel so you can continue to receive videos that will help you graduate with gratification. What's happening here? This is an in-home HIV testing kit. So here in State College, we have an HIV resource center that provides free resources and free testing. Even if you don't have a reason to get tested, you should still feel comfortable in getting tested. They also provide information on PrEP, PEP, HIV, and how to clean syringes. So before we go through what this in-home HIV test kit is composed of and how you do it, I want to give a little education on PrEP. So PrEP, P-R-E-P, if you are HIV negative but at risk for HIV, PrEP can keep you free from HIV. PrEP stands for Pre-Exposure Prophylaxis, which is a medicine that can reduce your chance of getting HIV. PrEP can stop HIV from taking hold and spreading throughout the body. PrEP is highly effective when taken as prescribed, and it's much less effective when not taken as prescribed. This is common for all medications. So when you get a medication, take it as you should unless otherwise directed by your doctor. Is PrEP right for you? You have had anal or vaginal sex in the past 6 months, and your partner, and you have a sexual partner with HIV, or you have not consistently used a condom, or you have been diagnosed with an STD in the past 6 months. PrEP is right for you if you inject drugs and have an injection partner with HIV, or you share needles, syringes, or other equipment to inject drugs. Or you have been prescribed PEP, which is the pre-exposure prophylaxis, and you report continued risk behavior, or have multiple courses of PEP. We're going to get into PEP or PEP in a moment. That is actually the next page in this information. And all of this is information that can be found on the CDC website, cdc.gov/HIV. For the PEP 101 information, this is if you may have been exposed to HIV in the last 72 hours. You want to talk to your healthcare provider, an emergency room doctor, or an urgent care provider about PEP right away. PEP can reduce your chance of getting HIV after a possible exposure. So what is PEP? As I just said, PEP or post-exposure prophylaxis means taking medicine to prevent getting HIV after a possible exposure. PEP must be started within 72 hours or 3 days after you may have been exposed to HIV. But the sooner that you start PEP, the better. And literally, in this instance, every hour counts. So when you think about how replication occurs in the body and how viruses reproduce in the body, well, viruses themselves don't reproduce, but how viruses increase in number in the body, the time is of the essence. PEP is effective in preventing HIV, but not 100%. You want to always use condoms with sex partners and use safe injection practices. Is PEP right for you? If you're HIV negative or don't have your HIV status in the last 72 hours, you may have been exposed to an HIV during sex. For example, that's like the condom broke. 2, you've shared needles, syringes, or other equipment to inject drugs. Or 3, you were sexually assaulted. And one other note about PEP is that it should not be used as a preventative measure, such as in the same way that you would use a condom. You want to use PEP in emergency situations only. If you're at ongoing risk for HIV, you will want to talk to your healthcare provider about being placed on PrEP, P-R-E-P, which is the first information that we were just talking about. So for HIV itself, what is HIV? That probably should have been the first thing that I read, because PrEP and PEP are 2 medications that you can take if you are exposed to HIV. So what is HIV? HIV is the human immunodeficiency virus, and without treatment, it can make a person very sick and even cause death. HIV can be transmitted by sexual contact, sharing needles to inject drugs, and it can be transmitted from a mother to a baby during pregnancy, birth, or breastfeeding. HIV is not transmitted by air or water. It is not transmitted by saliva, sweat, tears, or closed mouth kissing. It is not transmitted by insects or pets, and it is not transmitted by sharing toilets, food, or drinks. Ways that you can protect yourself from HIV is to get tested often. Like I said, even if you don't feel like you have any reason to get tested, if they're offering free tests, just get tested. Get comfortable with the idea of being tested and maintaining a regular health routine. You want to use condoms the right way every time you have anal or vaginal sex. Choose activities with little to no risk, like oral sex. Don't inject drugs if you don't inject drugs, or if you do, don't share needles, syringes, or other drug injection equipment. If you are at risk for HIV, talk to your healthcare provider about pre-exposure prophylaxis or PrEP and see if that's right for you. If you think that you've been exposed to HIV, talk to your healthcare provider about post-exposure prophylaxis, PEP. And lastly, as I just said, get tested. Just regularly get tested and keep yourself up to date and checked on. And then there's also information on how to get to a free PEP clinic and more information on just talking to somebody about getting your test. And so now getting into this in-home test kit. So it comes with this very fancy kit. It has directions, so these are testing directions. They have them in English and Spanish. This is a 20-minute HIV personal test. You want to read through the directions. Once you take the test, you have 20 minutes to read the test before it expires. And then once it expires, it can no longer provide valid information. It is an oral swab. I think I am missing some things. Oh, no, I'm not. So there's this drawer here inside it where it has your test stick and your test tube. Comes with a little pencil, I'm assuming. Yeah, so on the side here, they have the start time, when you can read it, and then the time that it's no longer accurate. They have a book. The book, of course, as any testing does, it tells you about what the positive test, the negative test looks like. If you have any questions, and it also can be found in Spanish. Oh, this one says read me first. It explains some information like what is a risk event, how you can get HIV, what if your test is negative, what if your test is positive. So just a good bit of information about what you can do to protect yourself. And then it also has, I'm assuming this is the throwaway bag, I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the bag that you dispose of your test in. So I'm actually going to take some time to read these directions here before I do my test and actually read through them to see exactly what it says. And I will be back. Okay, so I read the directions and they have it set up where you can put the little tube in place. This is my swab stick. And make sure your timer is ready. Make sure you start your timer. We do not start gently. Gently swab the pad along your upper gums once and your lower gums once. You may use either side of the flat pad. Make sure that you swipe each gum only once or your results could be wrong. Okay, so I need to find my phone so I can check the time. Okay. And then I want to put it in here and put it like that. And there you have it, a really simple at-home method that you can use to make sure that you're staying on top of your health and graduating with gratification. Bye.